Apalak, hi, how are you?
Hey Amit, all fine, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, Apalak. Apalak, recently Microsoft acquired OpenAI, and now it is integrating ChatGPT. We've covered this story in our past couple of weeks, Take This Week episodes as well. Now, Google had to respond, and they launched Bard. But was the launch rushed? Your take on this?
So Amit, right up in the beginning, big caveat. I know all of you who are listening to this know the story inside out.
Absolutely.
So that's a big. This is no breaking news. Anybody who is remotely close, follows anything to do with technology, even not, it's too big a news not to follow. So I'm fairly confident everybody who's listening to this knows the story already. But it is our duty to come out with stories which are important from the world of technology. So here it is. Obviously, we'll try to disseminate this, put some data behind it. To answer your question, was this effort rushed? So let me answer it in a different manner. You know for a fact also that as a part of the promotional activity, when Google launched Bard, something went wrong.
Yes.
The data that Bard put out, it was around something around planets. It's, some planets which a particular telescope apparently had seen. The data was wrong. It was reported by Reuters, right?
Right.
Which led to $100 billion of loss to Google's parent organization, Alphabet.
Right.
So there were 100. So imagine one mistake.
Yeah.
Has become so costly for Google, right? But now coming back to the story, yes, Bard has been introduced by Google, to counter Microsoft's ChatGPT part acquisition. Now been getting integrated with many of their solution areas, right?
Yeah.
Bard is based on what Google calls as Lambda, which is language model for dialogue application. In other words, conversation AI. So and people who understand this space, people who've tracked this space, seem to suggest that that generative AI has a potential to change the search business. So it is as significant as when Google launched the search business. With Google launching search business, the internet business never remained the same. This is that point, and you have to understand, Amit, these points of inflection don't come on a daily basis. This is a once in a while story, right? And let's have some stats here,
Right.
to tell you why this story is so important. In the search business, Google is the 800-pound gorilla. Google enjoys a market share of 92%.
Yeah.
Microsoft Bing, 3%. And the rest all together constitute the remaining 5%. So it is as monopolistic a practice as one can imagine it to be. So imagine what's riding on this for Google. So Did they rush on this? They had to. Ideally, they were supposed to be the first person to do this. If you take my view on this.
Yeah.
But this is a counter. But I mean, whatever I have gathered by reading reports is that Google engineers were forced to prioritize work on Bard, because Google for the last about a year and a half, whenever they were asked about generative AI, they always said that it was work in progress, and they felt that technology is still not in the right shape to bring out to the world. So if you're asking me, rush, absolutely yes, and the results are for us to see. But Google is far too big an organization not to rectify this. Let me also say, yes, this makes of a compelling story that they lost $100 billion in stock valuation because of this error. But I am very, very confident that they will sort their story also very soon. They have to.
Absolutely.
For a company, Google generates close to $60 billion of revenue only from Google Ads. 60%, more than half of the revenue generated. See, you have to understand, like companies like Microsoft, they have a very distributed pool of revenue sources. They have Microsoft Azure, they have the entire productivity portfolio, they have a cloud portfolio, so on and so forth. Google, on the other hand, has a huge dependency on their ad business, which is coming from Google Search, right? So I think it's paramount that Google gets it correct, right? And incidentally, around the same time, I mean, last week itself, Microsoft also announced, the integration of ChatGPT to its Bing search. So first, that announcement was made on MS Teams. Then it was followed up by Microsoft Bing search, which a lot of people are hailing it to be the next big thing.
Right.
So a lot of work cut out, man. A lot of work cut out for Google.
Absolutely, Apalak. And a quick Think Teal's take on this.
I'll keep it simple. Google can't afford to lose this one, right? Will rely heavily on loyal user base, right? And override the initial hiccup. High stakes for Sundar Pichai also. This is one of his biggest moments. If he gets it right, if he overrides this initial hiccup and makes sure that Google remains at top of this, he'll be hailed as a true leader. But I'm also, I think Google is also relying on the fact that it's loyal user base, because it's not easy to change your consumption behaviors. You may have a ChatGPT backed bin, but one who is used to search on Google search might continue searching Google search.
Correct.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Absolutely, Apalak. So we'll wait and watch. How is this corrected by Google, and then of course, where does the search engine market go from here? But yes, thank you so much for your insights here, and I look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow.
Pleasure, man.
Bye bye.